My name is Wolfgang Lehmacher. I'm an advisor. I'm partnering with companies along the supply chain to help them to adjust and transform their business models in the digital age. The global trade identity is about the identity itself, about interoperability globally, about user platforms, and the potential of distributed ledger technologies, such as blockchain, to ensure integrity and security of the identity management system. The implementation of this important step in the digitization of the global supply chain depends on several factors. First, on sponsors with capabilities, the willingness to support the initiative, to ensure neutrality for the industry, and to support the technological development. Then we need partners for proof of concepts, to test the identity, to work out the details, to work on global interoperability, for example, through combining single windows. And we need to launch projects to validate and understand the risks and opportunities involved in using various user platforms, and of course to understand what could be the role of blockchain technology. A good start would be to engage 3 to 5 countries to help us to run 6 months long projects to work exactly on the topics I mentioned before. The first trend is the move towards regional platforms and less intercontinental transport. The second one is about sustainable and green shipping. The third is the Industrial Revolution. With the changing trade pattern comes the need of 2 different main types of shipping value chains. The first one is the mass volume, highly standardized value chain, which requires standardized, digitized ports and large vessels. The second value chain requires flexible ports and smaller ships. With the trend and the pressure towards green and sustainable shipping come some major challenges. This is already reflected in the discussions about IMO 2020, but IMO 2050, that means the requirements to meet the climate targets, will be a much bigger challenge. With IMO 2020 comes significant costs to the shipping industry, and today it's not clear who will pay the bill. With IMO 2050, we need technology which probably has not even been invented today. This requires that along the supply chain, the partners collaborate, decide on standards, decide on the technologies to push, because this gives manufacturers the confidence to invest in research and development and start to work on specific solutions which help us to achieve the climate goals. There are countries that worry, and for good reasons, and there are countries that will win. Currently we see that supply chains go away from the US and from China. China is buying in alternative countries, and so does the United States. Over the long run, I believe the trade wars will benefit Asia. And why do I believe this? Because China is now forced to first invest in much more advanced technologies to produce products which they are not able to purchase in the United States for some time. Chinese companies are forced to internationalize, to enter into markets where they are not today and grow faster into competitors of today's Western incumbents. And of course, in the process, countries, particularly in Asia, in Southeast Asia and South Asia, will benefit because the United States economy needs providers for their goods. And many of them are in Asia. The shipping industry is part of the supply chain industry. And the supply chain industry is very complex, very fragmented, has a lot of parties involved, and enormous challenges, as we discussed before. To come to solutions which work for everybody, and including manufacturers, including people who provide equipment, technological solutions to the supply chain, we need to discuss. We need to understand the requirements of each other and have platforms to agree on the way forward. In the context of helping companies to transform in the digital age, I expect a lot of new insights in technological development and also the challenges the individual players have.